everyone, I'm Cathy, the Clumsy Soaper. Soap making is my creative outlet, and this channel is all about soap making. Today, I would like to share with you the making of cold processed egg soap. Without further ado, let's get started! The ingredients that I use today are 5 oil blend, lye, fragrance oil, yellow mica, titanium dioxide, neon yellow pigment, and 1 whole egg. First, let us separate the egg white or albumin to the egg yolk. I learned how to manually separate them from my parents. I grew up without any tool needed to separate the egg yolk from the egg white. For the egg white, I place it in the beaker containing titanium dioxide. Then, for the egg yolk, I divided it into half and placed it in the yellow mica and the other half in the neon yellow pigment. Next, let us disperse the colorants in oil. I've used the mini mixer to ensure that the colorants are properly dispersed and to avoid color specks in the final bar. Here, I have used 1 teaspoon per pound of oil colorant load. Since the egg yolk and egg white are in the colorants container already, I just made sure that it is properly mixed in the oil and colorant suspension. Both lye and oil are at room temperature now. I already prepared my oil blend and lye in advance, and I normally master batch a quantity that is good for 15 to 20 small batches for efficiency and consistency. It also helps me to eliminate other factors and variables, especially when I am testing fragrance oil and colorants. We are ready to mix the lye solution and the 5 oil blend. First, let us slowly pour 37% lye solution into the 5 oil blend. This 5 oil blend contains pure olive oil, sustainable palm oil, 76 degrees coconut oil, jojoba oil, and castor oil. And for the lye, it was calculated at 5% super fat using my own soap lye calculator at www.mysoapcalc.com/soap. It is a free tool that you can use to make your own soap recipe. Go and give it a try. I'll put the link in the description box below. Then we have to swirl it gently until we reach an emulsion. You can use a stick blender if you prefer, but for me, I am using my no-stick blender technique. I have a stick blender, but I really like the traditional way of mixing soap. Unlike the ancient days when soap makers have to mix and stir oil and lye for a couple of hours or days to get the correct consistency, I can do it in less than a few minutes because I am using a higher concentration of lye solution. As you can see, the emulsion stays fluid, even if the concentration is high because of the gentle hand mixing and low temperature. Next, I've added the fragrance. Fragrance load is 3.5% and my target here is a mild and gently scented soap bar. Today, I've decided to use Bay Rum fragrance oil. I can smell the fresh scent of bay leaf and orange. Then, we have to slowly stir it again. Now we are ready to divide our soap butter. I've decided to divide the soap butter into 3 equal portions and pour it into the beaker containing the egg colorant and oil suspension. Then, I stirred it again. As you can see, I am vigorously stirring the butter until it raise. When you do this at home, just be ready because the butter will thicken. The acceleration of the soap butter is not because of the fragrance that we used for today, but because of the egg itself. As you can see, the temperature increased from our initial 30 degrees Celsius to around 36 now. We know that saponification is an exothermic reaction So it means that it will generate heat, but the egg actually causes the temperature to increase even more. Hence the thicker soap butter. Now we are ready to pour the soap butter into the mold and let's start to design our soap. I am using my slab mold and I've decided to alternately pour the colors at one corner. Since it is thick, every time I pour, I have to slightly tap the mold to ensure the distribution of the soap butter and to avoid air pockets. Normally, when the batter is thick, it is prone to having air pockets. And so to avoid that, I found that tapping in between each pour helps a lot. Instead of tapping the mold in the end, which I would normally do when I pour the soap butter at thin or medium trays. While I continue to design the soap, let's have a quick chit chat. Since the time of our grannies, they used egg in their skincare and hair recipes because of its benefits. I am not claiming anything, but it is believed that it helps in tightening our skin, it helps to shrink the pores, and it helps to soothe redness and breakouts. A number of egg DIY and beauty regimen are available online, so I've decided to share with you my technique in making egg soap. Depending on your oil blend and combination, you can make an egg soap for the face and body or even an egg shampoo bar for the hair. It is up to you on whether you just want to use the egg white or just the egg yolk. But just remember that my normal load is 1 egg per pound of oil. The normal size and weight of the egg is about 50 grams. Don't worry about anything. Maybe you will think that egg will give a putrid smell to your soap. No, I can assure you that it won't. It won't give any unpleasant smell because we already added the egg into lye. The protein in the egg was already denatured by the time we added the egg and it is exposed to high pH, or in this case a basic solution because of the lye. Finally, our design is ready after like 1,000 repetitions of pouring at one corner. I can't remember how many times I poured here. After 3 days, I've unmolded the soap and now let us cut the slab with my improvised slab cutter. I made this by myself. I'm still finding the time to edit the footage so that I can share it with you. Going back here, I've decided to clean up the edges first with the string cutter before I cut the soap into half. While I continue with this, here is the QOTD or our question of the day. Aside from Bay Rum fragrance oil that I used, can you suggest any other fragrance oil or an essential oil combination that can complement our egg soap? Feel free to write your comments down below. I'll turn the music on for a while, so stay tuned. No, no, keep your fingers away from the screen and don't touch it because I'll be back in a short while. After the slab mold, I moved to cut the soap using my favorite soap cutter, Red Sparkle. I produced 4 bars of mild and gently scented Bay Rum cold processed egg soap. I hope that you enjoyed our soap making session today and thank you so much for joining me. Once again, I'm Cathy, the Clumsy Soaper. And if you are new here, I hope that you would consider subscribing into my channel for a weekly soap making video, DIY tutorials, and a lot more. hit the bell icon so you will be notified when I release a new content here in my channel. Just like you, soap making is my passion and I would really appreciate if you can join me in my soap making journey so we could learn and grow together. Thank you so much, soap sisters and bubble brothers, and happy birthday to those who are celebrating their birthdays this month. God bless!